Let us take a look at our Jack the Giant, which is the first game that we are going to create in our course. If I run the game, we have this nice main menu here. We have the high score options and quit button. We also have here the music button, which if I press it now, we hear the music is playing. In our options button, we can select the difficulty. Do we want easy, medium, or hard difficulty? Also, what we can do, or we can go back here, and in our high score, we are going to preview here the coin and the high score for the specific difficulty. So now we see it's 429. That was for the hard difficulty. Let's see for the medium difficulty. We see that we have another high score. So we are going to preview the high score for the specific difficulty. And here I'm going to set the hard difficulty and run the game. We see that we have this fade in screen, which is a nice effect to create in your games. We have this ready screen, and now when we touch, we can move the player. We are also going to implement the joystick movement for our mobile devices. So if I press here, so when I press here, the player is moving left and right. And don't worry about his animation not playing. So we see that when I'm moving the player, pressing, we see that he is moving, but his animation is not playing. Don't worry about that. That's not a problem because we have attached our player script, which when I use the keyboard to move the player, which I did right now, then the animation is moving. We will see in the course what is that all about. So anyway, we have here the movement. We need to jump on these white clouds and avoid the dark clouds. If we touch the dark clouds, then we are going to die. At the end, we are going to preview this nice panel to see the final score and the final coin score. And we are going to go back in our main menu. We are also going to implement add mob ads in our game, which I'm going to show you how can we do that from scratch, and everything, as the course title says, is going to be created from scratch. So in short, this was our Jack the Giant, the first game that we are going to create. And now let's dive in the course and actually create our game. I want to talk briefly about the game that we are going to be creating. And as you can see, it's Flappy Bird, and I know what you might think, another Flappy Bird clone. But if you know me and you have taken some of my other courses, you know that I explain more than just how to create a simple game. I will explain some, advanced game concepts. How can we create game controllers to control our game? How can we save our data? We are also going to implement a bird select system. So for now, we see that we have our blue bird, and we can go in our game and we can flap with the bird, and we can go through our pipes, we can die, and we see that we have sound effects. If I go back in our main menu, if I click on the blue bird, now I will select the green bird. If I click it again, we are going to select the red bird. And if I go back in the scene or in our gameplay, we see that we have now our red bird. We are also going to implement Twitter and share on Twitter, and implement Google Play leaderboards and share the score with our friends. We are also going to implement app-loving ads so that we can monetize our game. And from a Flappy Bird clone, you can earn $4,000 per year. Now you might think $4,000 is, not that much. And you are right. But let's say you have 10 or 20 games, and each of those games, so each single game, makes you $4,000 per year. So, you can do the calculation and see how much money that is. So again, you are going to learn some game concepts. If you are a noob, you are going to learn game development, create your own game. You can publish it on Google Play Store, earn some money from that, with the ads that we are going to implement. And now let's get started and see how can we do all of those things. And I will see you in the course. Let us take a look at our Cowboy Runner game, which is an infinite runner game that we are going to create inside of this course. So here we have this nice main menu. We see that we have this nice animation of our text. We have two buttons to play the game and the other to connect to our Google Play leaderboards and post our score. So we see that our backgrounds are scrolling, simulating the effect of the infinite background. If I click play, here we are in our gameplay. I can jump. We also hear the jump of our player, but now I'm stuck with the obstacle. Now I'm going to die. If we die, we are going to receive this panel. We can click here to go back to our main menu, or we can restart the game. So if I click pause and click here, we are going to resume the game, and here we are running again. We need to jump on our obstacles in order to avoid them. If we also touch the zombie, we are going to die. And now we can simply restart the game, and notice here in the top left corner we have meters counting how many meters we have passed here, and we need to jump in order to jump over our obstacles and jump over the zombie who is going to kill us. And if I go here, this is how we are simulating that infinite running effect. So let me just restart the game again, and I'm going to turn off the player so that we don't get him killed. And let's take a look at a little bit of these backgrounds, and this is how we are simulating our infinite background effect. So we are going to see how can we use this parallax scrolling to do the same thing. How can we spawn our obstacles, move them from this side up to this side, and when they go here, how can we deactivate them and respawn them again, so on and so forth. So we are going to take a look at all of these cool things. How can we do them? Let me just activate my player again. So here he is. Let me try to jump and avoid these obstacles. And this is our infinite runner game. So in a few simple steps, we are going to create it and see how can we actually do that. So I'm going to stop talking now because I know that you can't wait to create this awesome game and see how can you actually create one of the most popular games out there, an infinite runner game. So see you inside of the course where we are going to create this awesome game. Let us take a look at our Spider Cave game. If I run the game, here we have a simple main menu, so nothing too complicated. With one button we can press play and go here in our level menu, select one of these levels, or go back again in our main menu. Now, if I select one of these levels, here we have our gameplay. Here we have our timer and our air HUD, which are going down. And if they reach 0, we are going to die. Let us take a look at our game setup. So here we have our spiders, the spider that's walking, the spider that's jumping. Here we have our diamonds that we need to collect in order to advance. We cannot advance or go to the next level. This door here will not open until we collect all of our diamonds, and we are going to see how can we actually implement that. So I'm going to pause the game now and go to menu again and play it from the beginning, and I'm going to try to beat our level and see what actually happens. So we cannot touch our spiders. If either of our spiders touches us, we are going to die. So we have 1 diamond and we need to jump over our spider walker. Here we can collect our timers and we can have more time now, and we need to jump over our spider jumper and make sure that he does not touch us, or that he does not touch us. And we need to go on these platforms, and let me just try to jump here. It's a little bit complicated, and this is on purpose left like that so that our spider, well, shooter can kill us with his bullet. And just watch for the bullet and collect all of these diamonds again. And let me just close this average CPU temperature. And I need to jump over our spider walker here. And here we have this bouncy that's going to bounce our player in the air if we jump over it. And now our exit here door is open and I can go here and our level is finished. So we are going to see how can we create all of this inside of our game. How can we implement the AI or the artificial intelligence for our spiders, make them shoot at us, walk, jump, so on and so forth. How can we create this air HUD and this timer HUD, move our player, jump with him, so on and so forth. I'm going to stop here. I know you are eager to create this game. So as I said, let's stop here and create this awesome game. Before we dive inside of our course and start to create our game, I just wanted to show you the game that we want to create, or that we will be creating inside of this course. So here we have 3 puzzles that we can select from. So we have our fruit, transport and candy puzzles, and we can go inside of one of them. We have the levels for that particular puzzle, 4 of which are locked, 1 is unlocked by default, and we can play the game. We are going to see how we can flip our buttons and how we can find 2 equal images. And when we do that, so when we find 2 equal images, we are going to simply fade them out. So let me just find the 2, and we are going to fade the buttons out, leaving all of the images that are not found yet. And when we finish the game, what we are going to do is we are simply going to display a panel showing how many stars our user has earned for that particular level. So in this case, we have only earned 2 stars. And if we go back, we have unlocked the second level and we have 2 stars for this particular level. And we are also going to implement our settings panel here and manipulate the music using this slider here. And now we can go inside of another puzzle. Here we see that we don't have that second level unlocked, and all of this we are going to see how can we implement it, particularly how can we implement all of this in one single scene. And I don't want to stall anymore. I know you are eager to learn, so let's dive inside of our course. Before we dive into our course, I want to introduce you to the game that we are going to be creating. Now, this is the main menu of our game, and here we have 3 buttons, our play, shop, and our settings button. And when I click on our settings button, we see that we play this nice animation where we have our music button, our info button that tells us how can we select a character and how we need to play the game. We have our button for Google Play, leaderboards and achievements, and also for our Facebook and Rate Us app. And yes, we are going to implement all of these things in our game, and I'm going to show you step by step how will you import Facebook and Google Play leaderboards and achievements and so on and so forth basically. If I go in our shop menu now, here we have a couple of options. So we see that we have our weapons panel and we have our earn coins panel. We will also add a third panel, which will be the specials panel, and there we will have remove ads and double coins, which we will buy on Google Play, basically using in-app purchase. If I click here on this coin, we will open our in-app purchase, which is our coins virtual currency. So we can buy stack of coins, pile of coins, so on and so forth. We can buy this with real money on Google Play, and we are going to, well, sell this to our user basically. Here in our weapons, we have our double arrows, sticky arrows, and double sticky arrows, and this we will buy with our coins. So I can now click on our double or just sticky arrow, excuse me, and I can click here yes, and I have purchased sticky arrow. Here in our earn coins, we can watch a video to earn a coin, or we can share on Facebook to earn coins, which we will implement, as I said, step by step. Now when I press play, we will go in our character select menu, and here we can select a character, but we see that our 5 characters are locked, and if I try to buy one of these, we are prompted we want to purchase the player. In case we don't have that amount of coins, which in this case is 7,000, then we will be prompted to buy coins. But here I have, well, set up that we have those coins, and I can click yes, and I have purchased the player. Now I can select, well, one of these 2 players, and we see when I select on one of those, we change, or we see that weapon icon on that player, which indicates that that player is selected. If I click the player that's already selected, he will just change the weapon, which means that we are, well, basically setting him, well, this weapon that we want. And when I click next, we will go in our level menu, and here we also can scroll to, well, select our levels. And here we have 40 levels which we can play, and we cannot play the next level until we, well, finish the previous level basically. Now I will open the first level just to show you the gameplay, and when I click on the first level, we will see a loading screen, which we will also see how can we create, and we have these joystick pads on the sides, and also we have this, well, button for shooting, and we see that we shoot our arrows and our balls separate when we hit them, and we also see that our balls, well, drop collectible items when we shoot at them, and we see that we can kill our player and we restart our level. We will also implement at the end when our player dies, and I'll just show you that quickly. So when the player dies, we will prompt our user to watch a video in order to earn coins. So we see watch video, earn extra lives, and our user will watch a video and earn 2 extra lives to continue the game basically. And if he does not want to continue the game, he will just click quit, and we see again that loading screen loading back, well, to our level menu. Now basically this is just a brief introduction to the game that we are going to create. And again, I'm going to show you everything step by step, how you will implement this game, how will you implement level lock unlock system and character lock unlock system. And just for the sake of argument, I will go back and I will select another character so that we can see, and I will even buy this Joker character, and I will select him, and we will see that I can start the game with a different character. Now we see that we have our Joker character, well, in the game, and previously we have our player. And I will show you how can you do that. I will also show you how can you implement in-app purchase to sell virtual items to your users. I will show you how will you implement Facebook and implement share on Facebook to earn coin system. I will also show you how can you implement watch video to earn virtual item system, which will help us earn money in our game. That and much more will await you in this course. So I'm looking forward to working with you, and see you in the course.